Oh my god, man. Before I start the review of Hunter x Hunter, this episode of Hunter x Hunter, I have to say that this has to be in the top 10 best episodes in shonen ever that I've ever seen in my life. Matter of fact, top 5. Now I know a lot of you guys are gonna say, "Oh, well, you overhyping it and stuff like that." If you have not, if you're not caught up with this and you have not started Hunter x Hunter, first of all, I don't know why you're in this video. Second of all, please start it. Now this Chimera Ant arc, Jesus man, took a even bigger, like it reached a whole nother climax. Let's see. So in this episode, we get the king being born. Basically, him ripping out of the stomach of the queen, basically telling her, you know, it's time for me to get out. Fuck your time. It's time for me to get out. So he basically forces his way out. After that, you know, he says, you know, after all, the queen is basically spitting up blood on the verge of death. There are a couple Chimera Ants there. And, you know, Colt, the main one that we got introduced a while ago, and some other Chimera Ants. But basically, he rips out, and, you know, she's dying. While she's dying, he basically says, "Where's my food? You know, I'm hungry." And so the little penguin Chimera Ant, whatever you want to call him, runs into the room to, you know, save the queen. Fucking the king slices his head off, and he says, "Do not make me repeat myself. Where is my food?" So Colt is, you know, the green thing that can fly, the green Chimera Ant, basically is in shock of what just happened to the queen, and he wants to save her, but he's even in more shock of how the king is reacting. So he decides to, you know, to stand there, and then, you know, he says, "Come wipe this off." The blood from, you know, the ant that he just killed, the king on the king's tail. So the king, you know, has Colt, basically tells Colt to come wipe it off. Well, that turtle ant, basically tells him, you know, "I have a handkerchief right here," and is getting ready to approach the king, slices his head off too. And he says, you know, "Do not make me repeat myself. Come wipe my tail off." So he wipes his tail off, and he says something like, "Where's the food?" And, you know, the 3 royal guards come. And at that point, they're in shock of what happened to the queen, because basically the king and the royal guards do not care about the queen anymore. She gave birth to the king, and that's the only thing they care about. So of course, Colt, caring about the queen, you know, he runs to Pito for help, because he, I don't know, brought Kite back. And, you know, basically he tells him, you know, "I'm not interested anymore. The king is born. That's that." So Colt decides to go on an adventure to go to the chairman and his 2 allies to help the queen, because, you know, basically there was a kingdom supposed to be born, but since one king is born, she's not able to reproduce anymore. That's not the way he's supposed to come out. He's not supposed to rip out the womb. And while that's happening, we find out that the king is in hunger for some definite, you know, nin-using humans, and Pito leads him to regular humans. And this episode was so dark, man, because the king killed 2 of his own people, 2 of his own soldiers. Then he killed 2 humans without, like, remorse. Then he killed, you know, then he killed a little girl, like, by just stabbing her in the head with the tail. We don't see it, but it gets foreshadowed. Well, not foreshadowed, but, you know, off screen. And he eats her brains, and he's still not in, you know, in satisfaction of what he got. So he tells, you know, while Pito is giving him advice, he smacks Pito with the tail, and he basically says, you know, "You have earned my respect. But do you think I'm stupid?" No, he's the first. "Do you think I'm stupid? I know I can focus on humans that are strong. I can see their energy, stuff like that." So he already has Gil, and I guess he already knows how to use Nin, because he had an aura around him when he came out, and that makes sense. Another thing is that he tried to kill Pito, and Pito was strong enough to withstand one of his blows. So he earned the respect of, you know, Miriam, the king. And we don't get his name, but his name is Miriam for the people who don't know. Because I just know, because I hang around people that have read Hunter x Hunter. So this week's episode, 10 out of 10. Straight 10 out of 10. Music was awesome. And we find out that Gon and Killua didn't beat Knuckle and Shoot, and that Gon was getting ready to fire his, you know, Janjaken, when that little interesting hit 10,000, and now he can't use his Nin for a month. And Killua said, you know, Well, why you can't use your nin for a month? I'll protect you. What the fuck are you protecting him from? Regular life? Like, is somebody gonna attack him? What? So yeah, that makes no sense to me. But he says after that he has to leave him. So I'm presuming that Killua ran away, as he did in the movie. But again, guys, 10 out of 10 episode. One of the best episodes I've seen in Shonen. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Comment down below what you thought of this episode of Hunter x Hunter. And do not forget to subscribe. I will see you guys later. Oh my god, man. This episode...